Okay, so how do you solve one of AI's biggest traffic jams? Well, let's get into it.
That was the question from a junior dev, Timothy. His specialized AIs were basically just sitting idle.
See, his system was blasting every single user query to every single expert AI. Talk about a bottleneck.
His senior colleague, Margaret, had the perfect name for this. She called it the coordination tax. So the solution was to ditch that chaotic broadcast model for something called precision switching. They decided to build a navigator, a smart router at the front gate to direct all the traffic.
So how does this router actually think? Well, it follows 3 simple but really powerful steps.
First off, Margaret said the router doesn't read the question, it just feels the shape of it. It does this using a kind of mathematical map called latent space, where similar ideas cluster together.
Then, a tiny, super fast AI turns the question into coordinates on that map, all in just milliseconds.
Okay, but what about a tricky question? One that might fall into multiple categories.
Right, that brings us to step 2. The router plays gatekeeper, using something called zero-shot classification. It uses a cheat sheet of what each specialist does, so it can even split one task between them. And the final question was all about safety. What if the router just can't find a good match? The router doesn't guess. The genius model only wakes up when the navigator is really stumped.
This is the 3rd step, escalation logic. The toughest problems get kicked up to the lead planner.
And the result? A totally fluid, organized system. Timothy watched as requests just flew through. The smart router was instantly handling 90% of all traffic, sending it right where it needed to go, which meant their biggest, most expensive AI was only used for the toughest 10% of problems. The impact was immediate. Latency dropped, the system felt fluid, and they saved a ton on compute.
And that's really the whole point. Efficiency isn't just speed. It's about knowing exactly who to ask.